For the last few weeks, Russia's Putin keep on saying that he has no intention to invade Ukraine. That one is your wife saying that she's not angry at you, but put your pillow and blanket in the living room. Then, of course, Russia attack. But in the first place, why do they attack? Here's what you need to know on why Russia wants to invade Ukraine. I'll simplify for you. Don't assist if you don't understand my essence, you idiot. So, before that, you must know my wife. My wife likes to say one thing, right, and then do another thing. So that means, don't believe her words and look at her actions. Once you know my wife, right, you will know Putin. Because just like my wife, right, you need to know that what Putin said, right, might not be what he intends to do. Then secondly, you must know Russia's history. You see, in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed and became many countries. The main one is Russia. Ukraine is also one of them. You see, Ukraine is the closest to Russia, but they have to separate. So if you want an easy example, right, just think that Russia has many ex-girlfriends, and Ukraine is one of them, and Ukraine is the one that Russia loves the most. And here's the thing also, all those other ex-girlfriends, right, have joined NATO. So I say that Ukraine will also soon join NATO, and that will mean that Russia will be surrounded by NATO now. NATO is a group, right, that Russia is not part of, so Russia felt like threatened, I mean, you will feel threatened if all your ex-girlfriends form a group, right? Now, all these are what Putin say. Some people think, right, the real reason is other things. You see, the Russia-Ukraine thing isn't new since it all started in 1991, remember? But when Putin get into power, right, he invaded a small part of Ukraine called Crimea. That move, right, actually made Putin popular. So now he won the whole of Ukraine because it seems like it's unfinished business. Also, some people think he's afraid that with Ukraine getting closer to Europe, right, they might rebel more against Russia. Because there, got many rebel forces, not as peaceful like Jurong or Tampines. Of course, the reasons Putin give for the invasion, right, is often about NATO or something very interesting one, like declaring some states in Ukraine independent so they can invade. Heck, some even say that he will cook up some reasons like attacking own Russian troops, right, and then bring on Ukraine so they can invade. How it will end is still unknown, but one thing is for sure, it's always good to break up cranium with your ex. If you think this video is helpful, right, consider subscribing to this channel. If not, you go eat shit like you.